Y'all already know what time it is. We are back at it again. It's your guy, Joe T.
D. Johns.
And this is two grown men having a conversation. We locked in today. We're going out the window.
Pew.
But before we get started, how you doing, my guy?
Oh, we gonna do the honest?
Got to have
Okay.
it. Yeah.
All right. So the honest, I'm gonna have to apologize to the co-host of my other show. We were supposed to record this morning at 9:30, and he hit me, and I was like, I can't. I couldn't. I was trying to process some stuff. Then I was thinking through some things, and I was letting some things go through my head, praying about some stuff, and then you hit me. I was like, well, maybe this is maybe this is what I'm supposed to. That's what I'm supposed to do. So salute to my guy.
Yeah.
Jay Black. Nah, I really wasn't. I really wasn't. I wonder if you can walk outside and see your car like this fool. This fool shirked me. But no, yeah. I started down one of the paths this morning, and like I said, when you hit me, it started turning my thoughts a little bit.
That's good to push through.
For sure.
Yeah. That's good to push through.
How about you, man? How you feeling?
Lighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I'm feeling a little free. I think we all know a lot of stuff boiled down to choice.
Most.
You know what I'm saying? And,
somebody's choice.
Yeah. And a lot of things, we ain't in control of a lot of things, but some things you are in control of. And when you can be in, when you know you can be in control of something that's affecting, you need to make the choice. Especially me, this is my number one thing, bro. My creativity. I'm nothing without it. My creativity is tied to my purpose, to my energy, everything.
Yeah.
That I know about me. And when I get to a place where my creativity not flowing, I got to check what's going on around me.
So when you say boils down to a choice, are you saying choosing, for instance, the right environments, or choosing to feel a certain way in spite of?
It could be both.
Okay.
It could be both. I'm going to say, first I'll say choosing to feel a certain way. Me and my pops had a conversation the other day, and he big on holding me accountable. And I said something, he was like, hold on. He was like, you can't put that off on somebody else. And I was like, hold on. I was like, to an extent, I can. But then when I recognized I had to take responsibility for what I allowed, then I can kind of shift my mood based on checking myself.
Gotcha.
But we can't dismiss that people, things, and environments can influence you.
Sure.
Especially if you believe in the scripture, then we know that the serpent was influential.
Sure.
Before the decision. After the decision, the Most High still made the adjustment to carry out his plan. And it came with that, hey, I told you, first thing you're going to do, you're going to blame where it come from. But then after you know where it come from, you then have to, if you continue, you have to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, yeah. So yeah, I'm in a good place though, man. I'm in a good place. Why I want to hit you up? I said, man, we gotta get in a habit of probably doing more than one a week, because I watched the Jordan documentary. Somebody was talking about Jordan, and they was talking about how, you know, a lot of players get wore down in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And he was explaining how basically going over the time limit of how many minutes they play, training your mind to go beyond the fourth. I did that with my story times. I would know I do one story a day, I'm good. But then I got so caught up in that pattern, if I tried to do two, I couldn't. But then when I started doing two, I could get to the point of like, I could do three a day because I started training my mind.
Yeah.
Same thing with going live and doing certain things. When you set a certain boundary, it'll get in your spirit and you'll sit there.
Ooh.
So I'm like, press through. You got time. Why not? Really, at the end of the day, if we press through and got the topics down, we could do 1 hour a day whenever you know what I'm saying? We could, because that's what.
Put it on me if you want to. Okay.
But just training, man, just to do more, because I set in with that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's That's not wild. I'm learning to stop saying things are wild. Or that's funny that last time we recorded, which was only a couple days ago, Friday, this is Monday, right?
Yeah, it was Friday.
It was Friday. Okay, yeah, Friday was Monday. And we had recorded Tuesday that week before. Okay, so you might be about it.
Yeah.
Might just be about it.
Yeah.
I mentioned something on that one, and sequentially, it'll make sense if the listeners or viewers are watching this sequentially. So last podcast, I mentioned that I caught some news. I had a discussion that was beneficial for the network, but I didn't say it on camera. I'm still not going. I
remember bringing it up.
Yeah. So here's the thing, and I'm gonna tie it all together. Be patient, y'all. If y'all know by now, I be round the block with my responses. That whole preparation thing you were just talking about, preparing for more. The conversation was about a network picking up the audio podcast. One of them, one of the shows, right? And it was without that conversation, my mind was set to do 3 a week because it was only me holding me accountable. After that call, I can tell them how many I want to give them a week. So if I said 1 or 2 or whatever, and I was like, man, I only do 1. Because if I do 2, man, what if sometimes it don't work out? And when you just said that, it got me thinking that, my limit is my boundary the limiting factor when it's an artificial boundary. Because the work is there. It's been 3 episodes a week for about 2 or 3 months now. That's the rhythm. That's what I committed to. But now if I got to commit to somebody else, that's a reputable network that when I tell you after, you'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Might be. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Depends on you be front sometimes.
That's what's up.
But no, it was so I definitely was supposed to do this show today. I'm glad you hit me.
That's what's up.
But I'm just thinking through all the artificial boundaries that I got right now and the ones I've been setting. It seems like every time I'm approaching greatness in a thing, I start to dial it back because
what?
I don't
fear of success?
In a sense, but it wasn't that way in corporate. Like in corporate, it was go, 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 go. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's the fears associated with I am the structure, not an established structure. Established structure in corporate, you go from one job to another job. You can kind of trust the foundation. You might not like the setting and the people or the mission, but there's like the company has already been built. With this, it's like you're building a company and people can see the company. And the company is you. So it's not like when I was over there, it's like, oh man, they, you know what I'm saying? Senior leadership.
Right.
Tripping.
Right.
No, this D. Johns is, it's all of it.
While we right here, hit on something real quick. Artificial boundaries. I like that. I had never heard it. I just come up with it. Okay. Okay. So what would be, how would you explain artificial boundaries? I know you just gave a look.
Yeah.
How would you?
So artificial boundary is me not reaching out to certain people because I don't think they believe in my product.
So you minimize.
I can't go after them yet. But this year it's been different.
I've did that before.
This year I've been reaching out to people, and it started slow. Like I hit somebody, the episode coming out today. I hit somebody at the top of the year, and I didn't get a response for about 3 months. I was like, oh, okay. Well, maybe it was, because I met that person through somebody else. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I ain't really have the relationship that I thought.
Yeah.
He hits me back and says, yo, my bad, I missed this. I was picking up the phone to see how you were. But me in my mind, I'm kind of on the path of, oh man, you know what I'm saying? He got a big platform. He ain't really fooling me. Hit somebody else Friday. Was like, hey, just dropping the seed. Love to have you on the show whenever you got time. And I stopped myself from rambling. Sometimes I'll start giving people an out. I was like, just plant the seed. Love to have you on your show whenever we can figure it out. He's like, let's figure it out within 5 minutes.
Yeah. That's real.
So,
it's real.
Okay.
Push through.
Yeah.
Push through. if you relate to that, drop some in the comment section. Where you done probably played on your own top and not, you know what I'm saying, or minimizing your own potential or what you could do, what you deserving of, and things you use to, I guess, cop out of a situation or trying to go for. I've done it before.
What did it look like for you?
Even with the platform, I've had moments where I feel like it's not big enough and not even try. Not pressing through. You know what I'm saying? It's been several times people done told me, man, you should try to hit up such and such. And my automatic response will be, I ain't big enough yet. And not even try it. You know what I'm saying? And it's been moments where I've tried it.
Yeah.
And they responded. You know what I'm saying? Going back to sometimes, bro, I ain't even gonna lie, cause I'm kind of modest. You know what I'm saying? Somebody told me yesterday, one of their friends had told her that she need to toot her own horn sometimes, not in a cocky or prideful way.
Yeah.
Or ego being ego, just realizing who you are and what you've done or what you're capable of. It's okay. It's a form of encouraging yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or talking yourself through things. I've talked my way through a lot of what people would look at as success, but I've had many insecurities, even in, sometimes I've made videos, bro, and went back and sit down on my couch and felt depressed. You know what I'm saying? And the video went viral and people in the comment section celebrating and I look at it and I done sit on the couch for 8 hours.
Right.
But yeah, that I like that artificial boundary because it stops you. It's warfare in your mental.
Yeah.
It's warfare because when the scriptures say cast down everything that exalts itself against the knowledge of the Most High, He can give us wisdom. He can give us information. He can give us insight. Clearly, He's been giving you a lot of confirmation, a lot of push to say, hey, right now in your eyes, natural eye, it might not, but it's going there. You've received a lot of confirmation and stay the course.
True.
And even in that, we still can feel like, I don't know, sometimes. It still get iffy on the spiritual path. So yeah, I've most definitely.
That last point you made was what struck a chord with me is that I think I made a statement before, like we can't dictate when God's finished with the lesson and allowing us to go to the next level. Sometimes we can keep ourselves in the lesson beyond.
Right.
And I might be teetering on that. I might be teetering on that, quite honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And in my answer, the only way to do it is do what you did today. Sometimes even when you don't feel like it, just do it.
Yeah.
Because it may not be making sense, even when you're doing it, or because we don't have all the answers. We just, you know what I'm saying? With where I'm at right now, I feel like I'm kind of at a standstill, like a quiet place, like something new is happening. Parts of me want to cling on to what was.
Yeah.
And just, keep, my daddy used to tell me all the time too, people continue to do what worked for them.
Till it don't work. Yeah.
Till it don't work. And I've been doing that, but and now it's just like, and maybe even with that being said, I have an artificial boundary because in the new thing, I'm questioning the unfamiliar territory. You know what I'm saying?
You ever heard the phrase, what got you here won't get you there?
But I like it.
Doing what you did to get here will keep you here. Like there's a plateau at some point, right?
I receive it.
So doing a thing gives you progress until it plateaus. And then sometimes we stay in that, this is my workout. I can't lift more than 225 until you lift more than 225. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. So it's like that next level. And what I said is a variation of what it is, but what gets you here won't get you there.
Right.
All the time.
I received that. Commercial break me, please. If y'all ain't already hit that the like subscribe button, go and hit that one time for the one time, man. Do you agree with that? Can you feel that how you say it again?
What got you here won't get you there. Yeah.
What got you here won't get you there. And I'm gonna use the scripture because y'all know I like to tie that scripture. You can't pour that new wine into
that.
Can't do it. And I learned that coming out of the streets. using a lot of the street ways in the business now, it won't work. Number one is you can't be aggressive and put your hands on people. When
you Dame Dash. Shout out to Dame.
Listen, that's still a tough one for me. I ain't gonna lie, because sometimes it just be like, but you can't do that. You can't talk a certain way, and you can't spend the money the same way. I had to learn financial literacy when things started, because my first couple of checks, I was like, that's gonna come back, and then I was like, hold on, you can't do what you you can't. You just can't. You can't hang around the same people.
Sure indeed.
You can't be in the same environments. The growth, people want money and don't understand. If the money come, if you don't grow, the money will leave.
Money going somewhere.
If you don't get around the right environment, the right people, in a place of where, because if you got, let's say you run into some new money, and I'm talking from a filter. You run into new money, you around all the people you've been around is either always asking for stuff, always want to go out and spend money on unnecessary things, don't want to invest back into the business, don't want to encourage you to do different things with your money. What you think gonna happen? I'd rather try something different and realize and learn a real lesson versus, okay, I shouldn't have did that this way. Versus looking up and I'm mad at everybody because I expected them to have my back. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It will not mix. It will not mix.
Sometimes those people you need to change are the reflections in the mirror.
Number one.
And because mine ain't come from streets.
Yeah.
My jumps came in corporate, which was cool, but I didn't have good money habits at every level. So when the level increased significantly, I really couldn't gauge what was happening. I'm like,
I always wanted to ask that too. Let me see where you going.
Yeah. So hit is for what it is.
Okay.
My last stint in corporate was 13 years, 13-year run.
Mm-hmm.
From my start day to my end day, my salary 4x'd. 4x'd. The work warranted. I'm not. God is the source. Let's just put that as the baseline. But the work actually warranted. I didn't finesse my way up through it, make relationships and all. I think, if I probably said it before, my lack of relationship building probably held me back because I wasn't the smooths and going to everybody's office and laugh and key with everything. But when the jumps happened, I was too prideful to say I don't know what to do with this increase. So I just showed it to my family in things. Your daddy got more and it looked like this thing. Not daddy got more and now our future can look like this. Even when I was investing this, I didn't have the conversations with them because I was always shielding my journey for fear of, but what if it goes left? Right? And then I can't explain what that looks like. Ultimately, it definitely went left after all was said and done. But
in it, did you think, because I just had this conversation I'm about to ask with myself with social media, was there any parts of you, I guess, in the middle of a word, you didn't look at it of how long it would last? Did you think, this gonna last forever? In it, are you thinking in it, this gonna...
Yeah, so to a degree, because I seen enough exactly, like number one, I saw my dad get terminated at 23 years, and I think he had 2 more years he could have got early retirement. And we were working at the same company at the time. So for me, my whole expectation of loyalty from a company, I never had that.
Okay.
But it was always be valuable to the industry. You'll find a place. And that's even when I talk, when I had employees, like, I don't want you to be the greatest thing to this company because that limits you to this company. But if you understand the industry, because this company is part of an industry, you'll be valuable anywhere. And it was a thing for me, and it might have been a vanity thing, was if any of my people went somewhere, I wanted to mean something that they worked for me. So my name starts to
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, because you never know.
Right.
Somebody that works for you might end up in a situation where they bring you over or they recommend you. And I had a great director when I was at so and so, you know, check them out, that kind of thing. So it was never that it would last forever, but maybe it wouldn't last forever at a company. My thing was once you get to a level, that's kind of becomes a mental trap for some. Me specifically, I'll just say me, because it's the embarrassment of being at a senior level and then going somewhere else and not being at a senior level.
My mom always say my daddy had that issue right there when he came out of the military. He wouldn't do nothing that I guess he felt was beneath him just to sustain, you know what I'm saying, until he figured something out.
Yeah.
I feel that way too as a black man. There's a lot of pride there. I ain't gonna sit here and fool. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I don't know. I can't say what I wouldn't do or what I would do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like I ain't no way I'd do that. You don't know until you're in that situation. There's a lot of dudes in the streets right now who say that they wouldn't snitch, and then a big case happen. Next thing you know, they on paperwork. You don't know what you'll do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Whack talking about you.
Right. Right now, I'm like, if anything went left right now, and if I had to, would you go work at Wendy's? Would you go? I don't want to.
And that's the trap.
That's the trap.
The want and the want, you mistake the what you will and won't do for a standard.
For a standard. Yeah.
I would continue to seek opportunities that reflect where you've been.
Right.
But
that's a lot of, I know a lot of content creators who suffer right now from that. They are living with people, living in a car on the basis of people know them and they don't want to see somebody come in the post office and be like, man, and you got hundreds of thousands of followers, millions and millions of views, but you ain't making no money. But in your head, because of what society and whatever, you won't even just do something but still pursue.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying, you worry about that. To me, now that's the devil in my mind. That's the trick of the enemy to you'd rather suffer than I ain't gonna do that. Being in the streets, it was something you said, man, I wanted to hit on. What you just explained is the same way that happens in the streets too, though. There are a lot of dope boys that when I was younger, I know plenty of dudes who had money. I'm talking about was getting it. Every one of them now is a lot of them junked out though. I'm on a commercial break that. A lot of people in the streets, and I commend you as a man, first and foremost, because my brother one of them too. My brother's basically homeless by choice. A lot of the family done tried to help. But my brother at the age 18, 19 was probably a $250,000 guy selling dope. Once that, he kind of lost himself, you know what I'm saying, in that image of, and, you know, next thing you know, he started getting high, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to pat myself on the back right now because that's a subject that's always been hard for him, but it's got easier over time to be able to say that because I can make videos sometimes or I can be doing ministry. He'll be in the back of my mind, but I'm ministering to people who have people in those situations. And knowing that I have someone that's in that situation, sometimes it's tough to put that, you know what I'm saying, out in the public. So, you know, but yeah. I watched a lot of them. And I'm trying to get to the point of, it seems like many of us don't have, I don't want to say none, but not enough, or either we don't have it or we're not heeding it, the information when we're there to listen to it, because maybe we're thinking this will last X amount of time.
Yep.
And trying, you know what I'm saying? And even with that, let me ask you this. Do you feel like, because sometimes I don't want to make the load heavier. I'm cool. Like the stuff I have right now, I'm cool with it. And I know in order to enhance this multiple streams of income, I might have to pick up some weight depending on, and I try to pick and choose the size of what that weight to look like. What you think about that?
in my experience, is tougher. It's an easier conversation with me to me, when I have motion.
Mm.
And when you have options and you're considering another option, a second, a third, or a fourth option, but the mainstay is the mainstay.
Mm.
When you're grasping at straws, when it comes to the, like, what is my main thing,
Mm-hmm.
that becomes a little more overwhelming because sometimes I'm trying to pick up all the weights and can't get out the door because anything could work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Anything could work.
Anything
I
could
like
work,
that.
right? And it seems sometimes things seem equally attractive or equally rewarding when you're desperate.
That's a fact.
When you're desperate.
That's a fact. I'm glad you said that. Because I want to get back to a desperate, hungry place, but not the desperate, hungry I had in the beginning. It's understanding I'm in a desperate, hungry place. Because when I was there, bro, my grind was different.
Yeah.
I could do 10 things and it felt like one. Seriously. Like I could do multiple things. Body wasn't tired, mental wasn't, because it was something I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
And I want that back. I don't have it that way, like that no more. And I don't even know if it's the money no more, man. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know. I think it's coming back. It's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a man thinking, so yeah, it's coming. It's there. It's there.
You know, all of that is tied to like we're talking about it in a business sense or in a social media, like in an earning sense.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of that is true and dictates how we stay or manage relationships.
That's yeah.
The desperation, the
Yeah.
options, the
Yeah.
how secure we are with ourselves and like what we'll accept.
In the desperation, how can it affect the relationship?
Because it looks different. Everything looks. It's easier for something to appear to be positive because you're yearning for some kind of attention. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody paying you any attention is better than you being alone and dealing with your own thoughts, you're more likely to accept any kind of attention.
That's true.
And that puts that person in a position of power. Now, whether they abuse it or not is different. But when you, I said on a different show, like when you, and I'm saying it, God, I'm saying it from a male's perspective because I'm a man.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you out in that phase of life and you holler at something and it was worth the holler, but you realize like the next day she calls you twice, right? And then day after that she calls you 2 or 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you say, hey, pull up at 10 p.m., she pulls up, right? Then you start. It's after 1. Pull up, and she put like you realize that person is way more
right
into you,
right,
and you start kind of managing it like that. And then she look up and realize that she being strung along.
Yeah.
And it's not that you the man would like, I was just taking what was given. But she was seeing it different. Like she was seeing it as I might be on my way to a relationship.
Got you.
He's always ready to spend time with me. I'm trying, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. That's real. That's real. That's real. That's real.
Like at what point is the relationship abusive in that sense when the one party is desperate or the one party doesn't actually know what they want or what they need out of life?
What do y'all think about what he just said? Somebody asked me yesterday, should the man chase more? Should the man want the woman more than the woman want the man?
If I was 18, I'd probably answer that question. But having lived life, that's to me, that's as flawed as If you had to do it all over again, would you do it the same way? Like for a married couple. That is the least. Like that question blows me every time.
It has to be equal.
It has to be what it needs to be.
It has to be what it needs to be.
Like the whole 50-50 conversation. I know that's a trend now, getting away from the 50-50 conversation or doubling down on the 50-50 conversation. Like, I don't believe in balance, period. Unless we're talking about like literally a mathematical or scientific application. Because when I think about it in my literal sense, balance on a scale means two equally opposing forces and nothing's happening. Everything's come to a rest, right? Then one side gets heavier, one side gets lighter, but that's life all the time. Like, I don't never want my life to not be moving.
I think, and then they came from the aspect of men hunt. At some point, I guess, would you agree or disagree that the way a man pursue a woman in the beginning should continue to look like he's in pursuit?
I think the man first has to identify if he's in love with pursuing or if he's trying to find the one. Because the pursuit of a thing is fun. That was the game, right? And whether you were malicious with it or not, it's like, yeah, I want to see if I can do this thing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't saying that the woman is. I wasn't saying that, but apply it as you may. And that's how life. So even if you look at women now, not now, but women of today being as independent as they want or choose to be, pursuing life, pursuing goals, it's no different.
Right.
Right. They make manager. They want to make scene manager. They want to make director. They want to make partner, whatever. Like we get in love with the pursuit. We get in love with the act of pursuit. And then it lands us things. And then even like with the job, you're not happy with that. You know what I'm saying? Like what we've been talking about. You pursuing this thing and now you don't even know if you want social media no more. You was all in. You had to have it. And then she got it. It's like, is there something else?
You're right.
So being in love with the pursuit and being in love with what you're pursuing are two different things.
I know, with me, it's what you see, what you hear is what you get. Right off the bat. What I'm pursuing, it's not it's most definitely a pursuit to catch your attention or make sure, you're impressed. But eventually, I don't even want to say eventually, I'm going to show the real me early on. It ain't no, and I understand how we evolve as people just in general.
Yeah.
You might wake up and be a completely different person, different goals, different aspirations, different, perspective. And if you ain't got somebody that can, I guess, understand it or get with that adjustment, you ain't gonna mesh anyway. And it go vice versa. Somebody might have liked me because I did social media, and one day I might want to buy a bunch of trucks and get a fleet of trucks, and they might look at it like, I almost said your name too. I did. I was about to say somebody's name, but I remember somebody looking me in my face when I came home, and I was asking them like, "What's up? Like you act like you gotta like, cause we used to be here." And this person looked at me and said, "I wanted you to come home and take it over." And I was like, "What you mean?" And they repeated it. "I wanted you to come home and take this over." I said, "Oh, you want the old me. You don't care. The new me is better, healthier. I can communicate. I can, what I'm saying? I can be here.
Sleep.
I can sleep. You can sleep. You can go to the gas station, pump your gas, and not worry about somebody putting you in their trunk because of retaliation or something. Like, or my child, grasping holds of thinking this is what a man look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, I kind of just threw it out there, didn't I? But, but look, check this out. But in that, bro, yeah, man, you might wake up and be something completely different, and your partner might too.
It will happen.
It will.
It ain't no might.
It ain't no might.
Yeah. It will happen.
This comes from experience.
This comes life.
Life.
If you unless you can go to sleep at 20 and wake up at 40, that's the only time you shouldn't expect something to be different.
If it's that fast.
If you went to sleep at 20 and you woke up at 40, your last memory is 20, your new memory is 40.
Yeah, that's the only way.
There's nothing in between that you know.
Right.
Otherwise, you're expected to change. The thing about it is most people expect for themselves to change, but don't consider how that impacts the other person that's changing also. So it's again with that example of the woman or whoever it is in the relationship that's adjusting to the other person because they want attention. At some point that goes left.
Could we apply artificial boundary in relationship?
Absolutely.
Give me an example.
Artificial boundary. Ooh, man. Let me put this one through the filter. So easy for me. Because I'll accept responsibility.
Okay.
I wasn't good at communicating expectations.
Okay. Ooh.
So I would hold my family, wife, children included, to an expectation I hadn't communicated, and then I'd be frustrated when they didn't meet the expectation, which to me, I had the right to be frustrated because it didn't meet my expectation. The flaw was I never communicated it to give them an opportunity
to do it,
to understand and meet the expectation. Especially if you're talking about white, like with the kids, with the kids, there's you must, you shall for a period. With a wife or a husband, I don't know too many that work like that.
Yeah,
you shall.
Yeah,
it might be, and if it works for you, works for you.
I'm guilty of that.
But if I have an expectation of my wife, and I'm measuring her to this thing, knowing that if this thing doesn't come to fruition, like if it's not met, I'm going the other way in my mind.
Yeah.
You can still go the other way in your mind, but it's still your fault because you haven't, and it could be a seemingly simple thing that in your head, of course, this is how it works.
Yeah. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that probably. Not even then, if it was a relationship, I'm probably guilty of that in friendships and everything.
Yeah.
Some things I just feel like it should be instinct. You should know. And I'm wrong because I didn't give, I guess, to tell the person for them to know.
Yeah, you can give them a chance.
At the end of the day, even if they didn't have to tell me things, and this is getting a little personal, it's certain things that I just being around certain people, relationships, friends, that I just learned and I just know to move a certain way or to do a certain thing. And everybody's not the same.
That's based on your life through your lens.
On my lens.
Yeah.
And it's wrong.
It's you.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's you. And it's the thing about it is, even after you explain it to the people, like I didn't tell you this, but this thing bothers me. Once they understand it, the stuff that they did doesn't unbother you.
Right.
You just got a new like understanding of, am I going to consider you in this regard and not do this thing or do this thing that is reasonable for you, right? So that it doesn't bother you. But the longer it went for me, I'm king resenter.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, sure, like you said, surely you know. And it's based on some experience that I've had. But that person wasn't with you during that experience to know that's
that. I would have to agree with this. That's my big artificial boundary. My expectations of people, it gets me every time. It kills me. It and then it affects my trust for something else. Like for real. Like it's so bad and unhealthy. I might need to go back to therapy for that thing alone and I'm a very isolated person already. I could be social. I can do what I need to do, but I'd rather be with me. I ain't even gonna sit here and lie to you. I can take care of my business, but I really rather chill with, you know what I'm saying, and be to myself.
And be perfectly fine with it.
I'm gonna be at my best. I promise you I am. Yeah. I most definitely expect me of other people.
Yeah.
And it's very unhealthy. But I will say this on the flip side of the coin. I can sometimes tell when it motivates people too, though. It ain't just I got pros and cons to it, because some people acknowledge the work ethic, the integrity, some people can tell, or they can be to themselves like, dude, don't he really be on it? Let me make sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have seen it work, but it's done worked against me more than it's worked for me.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm saying both. And it's part of my undoing now is leading with my expectations. And I think that's careful to say men as a blanket statement, because I haven't spoken to all men, but in conversations that I've had, men often feel like they don't have a place to state their expectation.
Why?
They're just supposed to adjust. Like a man's supposed to sacrifice for his family. A man's supposed to.
Why?
Right?
What is that?
I don't know. I think it's something that we've taken on and we've shouldered long enough to where it's a lot of the responsibility is on us.
Where do we adjust it? How? Like, how do you, where it don't, cause people will make it sound like we're trying to not be men.
Be divas. No, it's
Y'all want to say we sassy for air. I seen somebody the other day said, I seen a man come out of Walmart with an umbrella. It was raining. It was sassy. That it had to do that. I just want to say it. I said, dang, we can't even. And then somebody
rain on your face, young boy.
And then somebody in the comments said, and please don't let him be running to the car with it. I was like, dang.
Sassy Mc. Okay.
But I do feel you, bro.
But it is like that.
It is.
And it probably comes from those small circles of what's acceptable in your small circle.
Yeah.
What you laugh at, what you don't laugh at. You know what I mean? We said it earlier, power through. Power through has its place, but also, if this is a thing that you need in your relationship, say you need it in your relationship.
Say you need it. Women talk about communication being one of the most important things for them. Women also talk about men being vulnerable,
sure,
transparent, being in touch with their emotional side.
Open up more.
There are many women who will not admit if that man done that on the regular, she will start to view him as weak.
You know what I think a lot of that has to do with? Like, she don't know how to process it.
She don't. You're asking for something you really can't even handle. We've never as a whole for years done it.
Right.
So the minute you see me on the vulnerable or tired or showing my brokenness, showing my trauma, showing, or even crying, I've cried on live before, you know what I'm saying, when my messages get there, and I've seen so many women say, it's okay to let it out.
Yeah.
And you can say that from a distance, but if you had been with me for some years and you seen the load that I have been carrying for so long start to get heavy, not saying that I'm minimizing the help you have or the value you do bring, but not being able to show the amount of how much I do.
Yeah.
And I get to a place of I'm breaking down, and then I start expressing myself. And let me clear some up before y'all even go there. I'm expressing it not resentful, not mean, not rude, not blaming you as my partner. Now, even if it may seem like I may be blaming you, you still can't handle it to be able to say, let him get that off. Because then it turned into why I can't get it off.
Yeah.
It's expected for me to understand a woman when she's being emotional, because women can be very emotional.
Sure.
But when I need it, you don't know how to handle it. A lot of women, I'm gonna say a lot too, and I'm gonna stand on it. You can't carry it. You don't know how to comfort. Your encouragement ain't enough. Yeah, I said it. It ain't enough. It's maybe right there in a minute we'll get. What does it look like though? When is it the questions of what not just what can I do to help, but when I say what it is or what to do, get on it. Cause bro, sometimes I done got sick of being or trying. I ain't gonna sit here and lie because sometimes as a man, it just seems so unfair. And even when you state it's unfair, you ain't being a man. That's you. You supposed to. That's what you supposed to do. It's supposed to be unfair for you. It's supposed to be too heavy for you. It's supposed to be dangerous for you as a black man, when you go outside and hopefully you make it home. It's supposed to be that way. You supposed to continue to take care of this, take care of that, and go to your grave and all vanity. That's how I feel, bro.
That's where you get the feelings on your epitaph, on your tombstone.
Yeah.
That's when you learn about how people feel about you. When you can't read it. He was such a was I? What was I?
Yeah.
Was I really? So here's my over 40 take on it. Just be honest about what you will or you won't do for your person. Because
hold on.
No. Let me go.
Is you jumping out?
Slalom.
Go ahead.
Skis.
Yeah.
If your person if you ask your person what do they need, and that your person's answer, and I'm saying your person, so it can be, I'm not putting it on anybody. Your person's response is the consistent 3 things for 5 years. I need A, I need B, I need C. Every 6 months, a year, you had a conversation. At some point, just say, I'm not willing to do that.
And this June, you neutral right now, man or woman?
Man or woman.
Yeah.
I'm not willing. I understand what you're saying. I don't know that I have the capacity to do that. I don't know that I'm seeking the capacity to do that.
They ain't saying that, bro.
No, neither.
No.
Neither.
I've done it.
You can put it on who you want to put it on.
I done said it, bro.
Neither. Like,
I done said it. What is the deal breakers? I'm on it. I promise you, bro. And I'm so simple. So I might not even have 3, 2 at the most.
Strong 2.
And that's it. That is it. Like, and man.
And so the other piece of it is, don't not do his 2, in his particular case, don't not do his 2 things and then do 4 other things that you think look right. I did 4 to your 2. Your 4 it don't matter.
It's wrong.
It ain't, that ain't how I see life. That ain't how I feel. That ain't exactly what I need. If I tell you I need some water and you bring me a bucket of lemons talking about this lemonade about to be popping,
that ain't what I need. It's not what I need. Like, that's crazy. Like, I know one of my, people talking about the 5 love languages. One of mine is words of affirmation. My main is probably words of affirmation.
Acts of service to me.
Because I'm a creator. So I talk a lot about things I want to do. So I know one of mine gonna be just kind of help bounce ideas off of me or just hear me out, critique me here and there. Don't go off of anything I say neither. Don't be, yeah, no. Or encourage me, hey, I ain't heard you talk about, you know what I'm saying, where we at with that.
Yeah.
It's very basic, simple stuff, you know what I'm saying, for me to feel, you know what I'm saying, that thing I need.
And I wonder what it is. Like, if somebody told me they need something and I know at my core I'm not that person, I guess I could see trying to fix it in other ways. But that's why I said this is my over 40 take. Because I get it. 20s, 30s, you still figuring you out, let alone trying to figure somebody else out. But it's like, hey, this makes my world go round. This makes my life like this. This makes life manageable and meaningful for me when these things happen. And I'm asking you to help facilitate. If you ain't got me there, like, for me, that everything is tied to that.
Everything.
Your jokes ain't funny. I don't care to hit. Like, I don't.
Yeah. I feel it.
I be stuck.
Yeah.
Maybe that's on me.
And bro. I feel like men, because I feel I'm very simple, bro. I'm not. I'm only complex when you done the 4 instead of the 2. That's the best way I go.
And then we having a conversation about why your 4 is better than the 2 I need. I told you I need some carrots and some apples. You bought me a pack of Starburst
and a watermelon,
some Fruit Loops, and a 2-liter soda.
For real though, bro. And I think I'm the same way I'm the same way with friendships and stuff too. Like I'm very, like and I probably would be guilt tripped for that too, because it will be tied to. I had a girl tell me one time because of my upbringing or how I view things or how I see things. So the 4 they trying to make sense to me. It was because of my upbringing. That's my fault.
Played you down.
Yeah, played me. Yeah,
okay.
I'm talking about. I've had that happen to me several times, where to the point, which a conversation we'll have in a minute. Abuse.
Yeah.
Like, and me. Why am I having a problem accepting the better 4 versus the 2 I asked? Me quit, or getting to a point of saying, well, maybe I can compromise my 2 and take 4. No. I want the 2. I want the 2. I want the 2, man. But yeah, I wanna ask everybody, man. What's an artificial boundary you've had? Friendship, business, relationship, some you, or just sit down and actually think about the things that's probably hindered you from something you feel that you deserve, or you know you should have, or going back to the expectation thing too.
Yeah.
That's a major one. Are you grown enough to let somebody know what you expect? Are you grown enough to also say what you want?
Yeah.
And if you can't get what you want, because when somebody can say I can do that, action's gonna always trump what come out their mouth. Are you man or woman enough to say, after this amount of time, hey, you know them 2 things. What do you do after that? What do you do after that part? I want to hear people's opinions. And what do you do after that? Because it get complicated.
And be sure that those 2 things are really the 2 things.
Are the 2 and not really 10.
Or that part too, but also 2 because they are the 2, and not 2 just because you want to stand on something.
Oh.
So now you create a situation where, well, I know this not her personality, but I'm gonna say I need these things. I've been knowing she ain't gonna, but now I'm gonna say I need these things because you trying to set something up or change them. So I'm talking about the things that are really at your core.
At your core.
This affects my livelihood and like my mental space, my health.
Yeah,
those things.
Those. What's your list for that? Matter of fact, drop 3 of your deal breakers in the comments. We want to hear them. We'll discuss them.
Yeah, you might meet somebody.
You got anything else, DJ?
That's it.
2 grown men having a conversation.